Tō te mai anō I te iwi ki te kauta nei. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today I'm teaching you how to make baguettes, and I've just taught myself and I've got lots of little tricks for you to learn, and I've paired it with this beautiful roasted tomato and vegetable soup, and then I am packaging it up and sending it off to Nicola and her beautiful girls who are remembering her husband who passed away 5 years ago. When I was researching how to create baguettes, do you know traditionally they take around 2 days to make? Nobody has any time to do that. So I have developed a recipe that takes around 3 hours instead. Nā reira, koinei ngā kai ka whakamahia e tātou, here are the ingredients you need.
Kia toru hauwha kapu wai aromahana, 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water. Kia whitu karamu ihi tere, 7 grams of instant yeast. Kia toru hauwha kapu poehu parawa, 3/4 of a cup of flour. Kia toru koko nui huka one, 3 tablespoons of caster sugar. Kia kotahi me te haurua koko iti tote, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Kia kotahi me te hauwha kapu wai aromahana, 1.25 cup of lukewarm water. Kia toru kapu poehu parawa, 3 cups of flour. Let's go. So into a small bowl, add your wai aromahana, your first serving, along with your ihi tere. Give that a bit of a mix. And in goes your poehu parawa. Give it a stir and it will just be a sludgy mess. It's all good. Cover it up and leave it for 45 minutes. After 45, it has gone from sludgy to alive. Look at those bubbles. Perfection. And now I take that alive bug and pour it into a bigger bowl, along with our huka one, tote, wai aromahana, and poehu parawa. And I'm going to mix this up in my mixer. As it comes together, if it is looking way too wet, you can add a little bit of flour, maybe a tablespoon at a time. Remember, don't add too much flour. So let's check this out. It's been going for about 10 minutes. Give it a wee window pane test, nearly there, but let's work it with our hands. If you don't have a mixer, just have a bowl with you with a little bit of water. Rather than adding too much flour, just keep your hands a little bit wet. And just stretch it any way you can, like I'm doing. Window pane test number 2. Beautiful. Now into a lightly oiled bowl, manipulate your dough into a rough ball and cover it up and leave it for 1 hour to double in size. After an hour, it should look like this. Get it out of there, girl. And we want to chop that dough now into 3 equal pieces. So it roughly came to 315 grams each. Now I just pull all the sides in and roll it into a ball and place each of the balls onto a lightly floured bench and cover with a tea towel for 30 minutes. After 30, press each ball out into a rectangle with your hands. Lightly floured bench, that is. And both sides, I want you to fold 2/3 in and press firmly down with your wrist, like so. Do that to both sides. And then we go to the second maneuver, which is folding it in, pressing it down. Fold in, press down. Fold in, press down. You get it right. Do it to one side and then flip it round 180 degrees and do the same to the other side. Now we just lightly flour the bench again. And starting from the middle, roll out your baguette into a log that is the length of your baking tray. So heavily flour some baking paper, and then you just want them tucked in some little pockets of baking paper. So you want to crease it really heavily, keep them quite close together as they rise, and give them a good flouring so they don't stick together too much. Once all 3 are done, cover and leave for 45 minutes.
Kua tata oti tātou. We are nearly finished. Now with the baguette, you want a chewy kind of exterior with a fluffy inside. And the best way that we can do that is we preheat our oven really, really hot and make sure the tray that you are going to bake it on is preheated as well. So let's do this.
So turn your oven on as high as it can go to 250 degrees. Preheat one tray down the bottom and then put the tray that you're going to bake your bread on in the middle. After 45 minutes of rising, score your bread, then separate the baking paper out and cut between each so they're not sticking together. Now onto the hot tray. Get a friend to help you, slide them on. Look, the bread is already steaming. Get it into the oven straight away, and I threw in some ice as well. For 10 minutes, bake it at 250 degrees and then down to 200 for another 15 to 20. After 25 to 35 minutes of cooking, we are done. Let's slice these bad boys open. Gorgeous.
Yay! The baguettes are finished and they're beautiful. I'm so happy with the final product. Now when I think of bread, especially a baguette, I want some really good soup, and so I created this roasted tomato and vegetable soup that you need to try too.
Kia te kau tōmato, 10 tomatoes, kia waru karoti, 8 carrots, kia rua kapikama, 2 capsicum, kia kotahi riki whero, 1 red onion, kia waru kariki, 8 garlic cloves, he noni orewa, olive oil, kia toru kokonui balsamic glaze, 3 tablespoons of balsamic glaze, kia rima te kau kramu koko whawha, 50 grams of anchovies, kia kotahi rita pū hua whenua, 1 litre of vegetable stock. Titiro ki ngā hua whenua nei. Look at those beautiful vegetables. So into a lined tray, all you need to do is add your tōmato, your karoti, I use small baby carrots, kapikama, shredded into bits, kariki, garlic cloves, riki whero, red onion, which is really purple, sprinkle over or drizzle over noni orewa, and then your balsamic glaze for that punchy hit, some tote, salt and pepper. Ready, into the oven. Para hunu hunua ngā hua whenua. Roast the vegetables for around an hour. These were ones I prepared earlier. Looking good. So let's make this soup. Add your koko whawha, your anchovies and all the oil into a pan. Lightly simmer it and crush it as it comes to a simmer so it melts away into that oil. It'll be pungent, but it's worth it. Now add all your beautiful hua whenua into your pot, along with the pū hua whenua, our vegetable stock, and blitz it until it turns from this into that. Now you just want to gently bring it to a simmer until all those flavours unite. I added a sprinkling of toasted pumpkin seeds and bacon, all coming together with a bit of maple syrup, drizzled on the top with our fresh baguettes. Mai tōku kauta ki tō kauta, ke ki ana ki te aroha.
Mirala and your beautiful girls, I hope that this kai and the little treats that I packaged up for you just brighten up your day and make you feel loved at this time. Kia koutou katoa, ara ko te hunga mā taki. To all of the viewers, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Mā te wā.
Para hunu hunu, roast. Para hunu hunua, roast it. Para hunu hunua ngā hua whenua, roast the vegetables. Koko whawha, anchovies.